And today I'll be reviewing this new show just dropped on Netflix, Sweet Tooth. And this show is based on a DC comic. So every time Warner Bros. Logo came out for this show, I was like, Netflix made a show based on a DC comic. You know, it was very exciting to see Warner Bros. Logo each time it came out on screen. So this show centered around this character Gus, who is a half human, half deer, and he goes to a journey with this guy played by Nonsu Anozi. We have seen him in many shows like Game of Thrones and other show he did. Like he done another huge show called Zoo. He wasn't really in good. So what I like about this show, first of all, I really like watching the show. All the location was watching the show. I was like, oh my god, all the location, they looked amazing. And when I looked it up, this show took place in New Zealand. And also I really liked the cast for this show. All of this cast, they did such an amazing job, especially Will Forte and Nonsu. Like the Nonsu, the character he played in this show, the big guy, and also Gus, played by Kirsten Convery. I thought all these three casts, like especially these three casts, I thought they did an excellent job in this show. I really liked them so much every time they were on screen. Most of them, they are the one on screen because this show mainly centers around Gus and big guy when they go to a journey. You know, Gus is trying to find out where's his mom, or like how did he get there, or like where he was living there. And this show take place in the post-apocalypse world where like everybody wearing mask. There's a pandemic going on. I was like, it was really tough to watch that because like we're still living in it, you know. We are still wearing masks everywhere we go out. And this show, it's like shows you too much. So it did like bother me when I was watching it. It's too soon to see like something centered around like this, especially when the shows try to show you, you know, how post-apocalypse world is. Everything goes to south, you know, nothing is in place, or nobody's following the rules. Everyone is doing whatever they feel like, you know, to survive. That's something, I don't know why I didn't like watching it this time around. Normally I'd like it. Not like a huge fan of post-apocalypse world, but you know, this time around it felt like too real. That being said, what did I thought about overall this show? I saw this show, how it focused on the character Gus. Where did he come from? How did he get there? When this show, mostly this show focused on that. Like there isn't tons of action here. If I'm giving my honest opinion, I thought this show, like, it spent too much time going showing you all the things, like where this, like how did we get there. Like it spent too much time in the past. Often I feel like, what is happening, you know. I'm not getting enough answer here. I'm just seeing all the question being asked, question after question after question. And this show did left us with so many questions, not enough answer, just questions. So that after watching this show, and especially from yesterday when I learned that Jupiter Legacy might not be coming back for season 2, like it canceled. This show isn't as expensive as Jupiter Legacy, not that it is, but like I'm just thinking, how do we know this show will come back for season 2? We don't know that. Why did you leave me with all this question? I don't understand, especially when you are giving us just season 1 might be. That means, so I really like this center character, like Sweet Tooth, you know, how he's like, he like all the sweet thing, how he craves stuff, his power, like he doesn't have power or anything. Also, he's half deer. Often his powers are limited to all the human thing he was doing, you know what I mean? Like he didn't have a lot of like deer power, I guess. Like what deer has power? I don't know. This is not a superhero show, you know. It's just about this show, just about this science experiment might have gone bad, that now afterward we are dealing with this thing. As I was saying, it's too close to all the real thing happening in our real life. Often it really freaked me out a little bit. Get audience for this show. I think they will enjoy this show, you know. Like I'm not the targeted audience. I often felt very bored watching this show, honestly. Like it just like going on exploration after exploration. It's not enough, like enough action, I would say. I would say I had fun watching this show, I will say, because of this, the cast. As I was saying, the cast is very good in this show. Also the location, often watching all these kids and their condition, like they have this animal, that animal, freaked me out a little bit, honestly. I was like, oh my god, it's too much while I was watching it, especially even the center character, the big guy, his kid, when he saw his kid and his face, I was exactly like that the whole time. Each time this kid showed up on screen, not Gus, because Gus' condition isn't like that, but the other kids, like they have this thing, like they look like half wolf, half bird. All this kid, when I was watching that, I was like, oh my god, it's a little bit freaky if I'm being honest here. I don't know how other people will react to it. I really felt a little bit freaked out inside my mind. I would say this show is definitely better than what I thought. As I was saying, the target audience for this show, I think they will really enjoy it. I would say this wasn't my cup of show, but I'm glad I checked it out, I will say, because the location and the way it was done, still it was interesting, I will say. That is my thought on this show. I thought it was interesting, wasn't as great as people are saying on Rotten Tomato. Sitting on 100%, how? I felt like this show often is very boring. I don't know how these people saw this show. Anyway, that's my thought on this show. Thanks so much for checking this out. Let me know in the comment if you enjoyed my review. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave your comment. And please take care.